Hi everyone, welcome to Green Living Innovations YouTube channel. I'm your presenter Lloyd Kalasa, and today I want to show you how you can use Power Pivot to analyze your data and get insights. As you can see, I'm having the pie chart there. You may be wondering, how did this man arrive at this point? How did he get that? So if I click in there, I can fortune, it can change. Come to sugar, it is going to change for that because that's what I want to see. So Power Pivot, it allows you to analyze data and also get some insights from your data that you have. So for those who have been following me, those who have been watching videos from Green Living Innovations, maybe last time you saw me doing pivot tables. Now you might be wondering, what's the difference between Power Pivot and pivot tables? So, well, just like the name implies, Power Pivot is different from pivot table. Power Pivot is more powerful. You can analyze data across multiple tables. With a standard pivot table, you are locked in one data set, as we saw in the previous videos and the last lecture that we had. Yeah, but in Power Pivot, you can analyze measures, quantities of data, and we are going to start off by creating a data model. So we need to create a data model. So ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Green Living Innovations YouTube channel, and this is your presenter, Lloyd Kalasa. Let's start with Power Pivot in Microsoft Excel. Alright, so here I'm having these data samples that I'm going to use. So imagine that you have the data sample, you have already collected it. Yeah, then you are even having it in Microsoft Excel folders. So I have the folder here for pivot table. So I'm having the cookies type. I can open that. Let me wait for it to load. Alright, as you can see, I'm having the cookies types here. And if I get back to my folder here, I'm having customers, I'm having the orders. Yeah, so I want to bring these three worksheets together so that I can start seeing these things on one worksheet, and I can have all the insights of this data, all the totals that I need, all the profit and the like. So I need to get back into Microsoft Excel and get that. So as you can see, I'm having the cookie type, I'm having the revenue per cookie, I'm having the cost. But I'm not having those visuals that I had. So first of all, I said that we need to have the model. So I'll help you to get that. So then we need to get data. In WorkCreate, we're going to do some calculations, then we're going to create some measures, then we'll conclude by having the visuals as I've promised. So our data with pivot tables, charts, and we'll also add some KPIs. You might be wondering, what is KPIs? So to start with, we need to install what we call Power Pivot option. Here in the green ribbons, as you can see, I'm only having this common balance here, so common functions. I'm not having Power Pivot. Where can I find it? So it is very simple. It comes with Microsoft package. It is there, but it is in those of our applications that we don't mostly use, so it is hidden from us. We need to activate it. It is inactive. So simply click on File, then come to Options, then come to Add-ins. As you can see, I'm having active applications here, active application add-ins. I'm having Analysis 2-Pack, Analysis 2-Pack VBA, so I activated that. Then in inactive ones, that's where I can see Microsoft Actions Pen 3, Map by Microsoft Power Pivot, so it is in there. The far end, I can see that this is not the Excel add-in, but Excel Com add-in. So I'll come here and change this. I can only find it in Com add-ins, then I'll simply click on Go. Then there I'm having another pop-up box with the Com ads configuration options. So I'm going to check this box because it is unchecked. I'm going to check this box for Microsoft Power Pivot for Excel, and I'll simply click on OK. As you can see, I'm having it here on top. So I'm cool, and I can start my process, my analysis process. So I've opened this now. As you can see, I told you that I want to go and grab these two files here. These are the files that I really want to use. This one, the cookie types, the customers, and the orders, because I'm having the data which is in common, so I need to link them together, and I should start working on that. So what can I do? First thing is to create a model. Yeah. So data model, you may be wondering, what is it? What is data model in Microsoft Excel? Data model is not that complicated, but a data model is simply a collection of tables or data. So I just opened these worksheet samples there containing that data. So I'm going to create the data model using all that. So we are also going to establish a relationship between these data sets. So why not jumping on the PC and getting started? Let's click on a Power Pivot. As you can see now, let me try to explain this interface to you. I'm having manage measures. This is what I said that we're going to create the model. The model to be created is in here because I'm having the data model options. Then I'm having the calculations that I said we're going to make some calculations. We're going to use the table to make our visuals. Then we are also going to detect this using the relationships. All right. Good. So we are under here Power Pivot. So if you clicked on Power Pivot, then I've explained this interface. You need to click on the first button, which is Manage. Let's try to explore what's in this button, Manage. So click on it and wait for it to load. It takes some minutes to load. All right. Here I am in now Power Pivot for Excel. As you can see, it's a blank sheet. So you can see some of the options that we are familiar with, like sorting, the filters here, data view, diagram view. We are familiar with this in Microsoft Excel. And we're having the clipboard. Now, get external data. This is where I want to explain a little bit. So just like the Microsoft Excel, it can allow you to drag data from elsewhere where it is. For example, if I'm having it from database, I can grab that, simply selecting the proper source where my data is. From data service, I'm having that. From other and from the connections, if you're connected, let's say using VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, you can use that data. You can drag it back into Power Pivot. Now let's try to see what's on this other from other sources. We are having Microsoft SQL servers and that. Now my main interest, because as you can see here, my data that I'm having right now is my data is in Excel. This is Excel sheets. So I need to find Excel for me to continue doing that. So let me find Excel if I can have it here. All right, there I am. I'm having Excel files here. That's Excel file. So I need to import Excel file. So I'll simply click on next, or I can double click on it. Then the friendly connections name is very familiar with me. It's Excel, and I believe that the information that I want to bring in is in Excel files. So I need to select the Excel file path here, and you can simply click on browse so that you can see. Remember to find where you installed your data. So it is in there, and it is in Microsoft Excel for me. So I locate the data where it is, and I'm having the folder like that. So let me grab this time around like customers, data for customers, because this is the one that I want to start with the names. Great. The third thing that I would love to mention here is that I have to make sure that this box is checked, because I'm going to use the first rows as the column headers. And if you can see, if we get back to this Microsoft Excel, you're seeing that the first column is really, the first row is really the headers. I'm having cookie types, revenue per cost, and cost per cookie. Great. So that's what I want to use. And I'm going to check that box. And I can click on advanced test connections. But for the meantime, let's forget about that and click on next. Wait for it to load, then it should give you a connection there. It is saying that select tables and views. If as you can see, we selected this, the column name, the source table is customers, and the friendly name is customers, which is in there. Yeah, and it is checked here, as you can see. Let me try to see if, yeah, this is really the information that I need using the preview button. And yeah, that's what I need. I need the customers' IDs, I need the customer names, their phone numbers, the address, where I can find them, and the country. So great, that's the data that I want. I'm going to click on OK. Then let me try to run finish there. I'll wait for it to run, and it's telling me that it is success. That's the status there, and it has successfully transferred 5 rows. Yeah, and that's what I want, and that's what I'm expecting, because I know that I only have 5 customers, and that's the data that I want to use. I'll simply click on close and wait for it to load. Alright, there it is. I'm having data. I've drawn that data, and just like Microsoft Excel, once you open a new worksheet, you're going to find that you have the customer name down here. So there's no need of me start changing where it is written sheet 1 to that, no, but it has automatically changed that. Great. If we come back to the file manager here, I say that I'm having these three worksheets that I need to drop in there and come up with only one. And I've done for customers here. For cookies, I opened that. I can link it in another way. Let's try to bring in some orders now. Let's bring in some orders. So it's the same process. Click on the home button here where you are, then come on from other sources, click on from other sources, wait for it to load, and it is in Excel, so simply go down, it's a little bit down there, then click on Excel files, you can click on next. The route now is well established, and we can simply go there directly and click on orders, and I can open that. I also am going to make sure that I check the first box as the columns, then now click on next. There's no need of me having the preview because I know what's right there. Yeah, so I can just select the table. Make sure that the table is selected if it is not selected to you. Yeah, more especially the first one, which is having the friendly item here. The orders, just search, click on the orders, and finish. Yeah, saying the operation connects to an external data. It's an warning there. Just simply click on OK. It's alright. Yeah, just click on OK, and you can see that I've drawn 700 rows has been transferred to this data. It's massive, no? Can't manage doing this one by one manually. Then let me simply close that. Right. Then I'm having the customers, the orders that they made, the products that they bought, and the units sold, and the date. I'm having it right there. So we have all the customer information that we needed, and we also have all of the orders information, right? Not so. I'm having the customers here, and I'm having the orders here. So I've drawn this data. It is so nice. So next, I want to show you how you can get the cookie types information into Power Pivot. Instead of going the same way, there is another method that you can simply use. Yeah. So if you're ready now, let's get that. Let's go to Microsoft Excel. If you haven't opened the worksheet like mine, I opened this one, which is the third, because if you come to the file here, I said we need to draw the cookies, the customers, and the orders into that. So if you haven't opened a cookie types, you can open cookie types so that we can connect it in another way. But if you want, you can use the same method that we used. But I need to show you the new technique that you can use, another one. So simply come in the cookie types here, then make sure that you highlight the whole table and make sure that the table is well selected. Say everything, you select that. Then you say copy. You copy that to the clipboard. Yeah. Then you can click on this button here. As you can see, I'm already in Power Pivot. So it's a manage, measure, KPI, add to data model. So let me simply click on add to data model there. Great. So see the magic here. I'm having custom IDs, the order, and the table 1. So instead of me having table 1, why not editing this, renaming it to cookie types? I need to put that as cookie types. Great. Because that's the data that I drawn. So cookie types, I'm having that data. So I'm having all three workbooks into one worksheet, right? That's great. So I can do the comparisons, I can see every data that I need by simply clicking on the orders that I want. But again, this is not much enough for me. Yeah, I need to bring this data from different worksheets now into one. I need to create a relationship now. So another benefit of having a pivot power is that you can also define relationships between your tables. Now let's define the relationships between these tables that I'm having, these three tables, the customers, the orders, and the cookies. So similarly here, we are going to look at the product name, which is the orders. And so click on the orders there. Let me use the orders, which is the one at the middle. Great. Yeah, because this is the one that we want to look at. And here, if I click on two cook orders, I can see the product name here that I'm having. I'm having the chocolate chips. Let me increase the size of this column for you to see. I'm having chocolate chips there. So those are the products. So to define the relationships, now click on the home button there. go to the diagram view, which is to the right far end there. You're having calculation area, you're having show hidden, then I'm having diagram view. Click on diagram view there, wait for it to load. It's going to be a little bit blank, just like that. All right, good. So as you can see here, I'm having a lot of data. Why not increasing the height of this so that I can see all the nodes? Similarly here, let me try to increase that, and here let me try to increase that, and I can move this a little bit here so that I can have space for my work. Alright, try to space these items a little bit. Alright, good. So I need to establish the relationship now. We want to define the relationship between orders and these other two. So this is the orders that I'm talking about. I want to define the relation in customers as well as in the cookies. As you can see here, we're having a common term. If I start with the customers, I'm having customer ID, and in the orders, I'm having also customer ID. Here, I'm having the name. Here, I don't have, I'm having the order. That data here is not there. So I can connect this customer. Simply come here, then left click and drag that and connect it to that. Wait for it to load. You're going to see the connection there. All right, I'm having that connection. So let me try to do this. It's going to stretch a bit. Yeah, I'm having that connection. So I've connected that. Yeah, so as you can see here, I'm having one, which simply means that I'm having one name common to this part. But all this data here is linked to the orders, because if you press an order, that order ID that we are going to give you, we are going to need your customer ID there. We are going to need your name, the phone number, your address, so that we can drop that. Imagine that you pressed an order online. We need the country so that we can drop that. That's why you are having one here. It's because of I'm having one common thing, which is the customer ID, and in orders, I'm having customer ID. But all this data in here is linked to the orders. That's why I'm having the asterisk here, or the star in short. Yeah, because I'm having multiple data linked to customers. All right. What about the cookies here? What's in common? I'm having cookie types, revenue per cookie, and cost per cookie. But here I don't have that, but I have the product. Because if I check in the Microsoft Excel there, or spreadsheet that I left, here I'm having that cookie types is the same. I'm just having those contents that I'm having in products. If I go to the customers or to the orders there. So let me quickly get back in there. And I can drag this product, can connect it to cookie types. I am going to wait for it to load. Alright, and it's the same here. I'm having one this side, which means that this data here is linked to a lot of things that is in here, because once you press the order, let's say for chocolate chips, you are going to record the date, you're going to record the units, and the name of the product, which is the chocolate chips, the order ID. Then we're also going to look for the customer ID that we gave you. That's the relation that we are having. Great. So we have drawn this. So let me say I made a mistake. Then I want to change. Yeah, I want to change. So you can just move your case and click on this button there and right click, then edit relations. It can give you the chance to do that. So let me say I want orders to be connected to cookies per cookie. Then I'll say okay. Then let me see if I'm having that. Yeah, it can work like that. But I didn't make any mistake in that case. So I'm going to redo that, and I want to connect it with that. And then let me delete this relation here. I don't really need it. Great. So I've established the relation on there now. Great. So let's get back here onto data view, and then we can see that yeah, there is nothing that has really been happening. So now I want to add some calculations to this. So let me show you. Here you can see visually that yes, you have done something to that data. But what if I want to add some calculations to this? Let me expand my columns here a little bit so that you can see clearly what I'm talking about. Yeah. So in order sheet here, in this which is written add columns, I want to know how much is the profit, how much is the cost, but I don't have any revenue here. As you can see, I don't have any revenue to use, or the cost. But if I jump into cookie types here, if I come into cookie types, I'm having that data that I really need. Yeah, I'm having the cookie types and then the revenue. Great. So I can do one thing. I can see the revenues are like, so let's use those relations that we developed in the diagram view. If we can get back to data view, to diagram view, that what we left there, those diagrams that we are trying to connect, we can use that relationship. So on add columns here, the first column, let's try to edit that and double click on it to edit the name and type revenue. Let's start by calculating the revenue. Let's see how much are we earning there. Let's calculate the revenue there. Great. Then come in here. All right. Good. So to calculate that, it is very simple. So to calculate that, I'm going to take the revenue from the cookie type. In this worksheet for cookie type, that's where I need to get the revenue from. And I'm going to multiply it with the unit sold. So this unit sold here is the one which is going to help me connect well with the cookie types there, the revenue in the cookie types. So let me introduce one thing here. Come into the fx function here, then type related. So just like SUMIF, just like the way we did in VLOOKUP, it's the same procedure, it's the same technique, the same logic. So just type related, then double click on that. As you can see, now it is giving us the relation that we made, the links that we created. So I'm having the worksheet name, which is the cookie type. Then in cookie type, I'm having the cost per cookie, the cookie type itself, then the revenue per cookie. Great. So I'm going to get the revenue per cookie because I want to get this data from the cookie types. So I'm going to double click on that. Then let me bring in the parenthesis by closing that. Then the sign for multiplication, we need to include it. Then what's related, what I want to use, I say that I need to use this unit sold. If I multiply revenue per cookie multiplied by unit sold, it's going to give me the revenue here. Great. So this revenue per cookie, I got it from cookie types. So I'm going to type units sold. So before I even finish, it is giving me where there is units sold. It is in orders I'm having units sold. So and this is what I really want to use. Yeah, so I'm going to double click on that. Orders. Then let me try to click on OK and wait for it to load. Yeah, they are good. It looks pretty good that it has calculated that for me. That's the first calculation that I've done in this. I'm having the revenue. Great. So I asked that we need to calculate the revenue, we need to calculate the cost so that we can come up with the profit at the end of the day. So in this column, let me edit that and put it as cost. So let's try to calculate for cost. So to calculate the cost, we need to use the cost that we have in the cookie types. Then we're going to multiply it, or we can simply say the cost, we need to multiply it by with a unit sold. All right. So it's the cost minus the unit sold. So let me come in here, make sure that you start by that, which is the reference cell that we are going to use. Then let's type related. Let me double click on that. Remember, in the related, why am I looking for? I'm looking for the cost. So let me find everything. It's the cost per cookie, right? Yeah, cost per cookie. Let me double click on that. Cost per cookie. Right. I double clicked on that. Then let me bring in the parenthesis by closing that. Then I need to multiply that with the unit sold. So I'm just going to type unit sold, then I'm having that. And let me try to bring in the formula by pressing enter. Then great, there I'm having the costs. All right, good. Then a simple same procedure. Let me also add this column for profit. So I'm having profit in here. I'm going to click on that, wait for it to be saved. Yeah, I need to see the profit. Now my work is much easier here. I don't have to go there and there to calculate that, because I have the revenue and I know that profit is revenue minus this cost that I'm having here. This cost and this revenue can give me the answer. So what I'm going to do here is just to come into relation. fx function there in the formula bar and type revenue. So I'm having revenue in orders there. Then the revenue which is down here, this is the one that I initiated, and this is the one that I really want to use. Revenue, then it's less cost. So on cost, I'm going to have this one, which is the one that I created for myself. Then I'm going to double click on that. Then I try to hit enter and let me see if it can work for me. Then great, it has worked for me. So these are the calculations. You can calculate multiple columns that you have, everything that you need, using data across these worksheets. So here I'm having customer names, I'm having the orders. Yeah, and in the orders, I've done that calculations there so that I can present this worksheet at the end of the day. Then in the cookie types, I've drawn this revenue per cookie, I've drawn about this cost per cookie, and has brought that data back into the orders and in one worksheet. Great. But what if we want to find out how many customers do we have, or what is the total profit? Okay. What is the average profit per customer that we have gained from that person? We can use the measures to calculate that. So for the meantime, you can use this pattern to close this data and wait for it to load, and it has taken me back into this worksheet where I was working from. Alright? Yeah, which is for the cookies. So I'm under Power Pivot here, and you have seen that I'm done with the manage pattern. Let me try to use the measures. So once you click on the measures, it's asking you to use the new measures or to manage the measures that you initiated in last time. So I'm going to click on new measures because we want to bring something new in here. So you are having the measures. Then the table name is telling me that customer. Here I'm familiar with customer and I'm having the customers, the tables for customers. And here I can change to which table do I really want to use that. So I can just get the customers. It's very much fair enough. Right, then the measure name, I'm answering the question, which is how many customers do we have, right? So here I'm going to say total number of customers. Instead of measure one, I'm going to put that as total number of customers. Total number of customers there. Then for the description, it's alright, I can leave it for the moment, don't worry. Then I need to insert the formula that I'm going to use there. Alright, so good here for that formula to work. Remember, I've shown you how you can use related. Now this time around, let me try to use distinct. Then for distinct, we have distinct count and distinct itself. So distinct, actually, it returns a one column table that contains the distinct or the unique values in a column for a column argument, or multiple columns with unique combination of values for a table expression argument. But I don't want to use that. I'm answering the question, how many customers do we have? So let me try to use distinct count. So distinct count, actually it counts the number of distinct values in a column, and great, that's what I'm looking for. Just want to know the number of my customers, so I'm going to use that. So one of these arguments is that I need to bring in the column name, the column that I want to return, or the one that I want to see. I want to count just how many customers do I have, so it can be good if I use a customer ID. So let me get customer ID so that I can count how many customers am I having. So I'm going to click on OK for that. Then it's saying that the expression is not valid or appears to be incomplete. Then don't worry about that. It is not completed. I can simply type, if it is not like that, I can just type a customer ID so that it can come like that. Alright. Then here on the formatting options, it's not general. I want the number. I want it to return the number. Then I don't need the decimal place. So I'm going to put that to 0. For the separators, okay, it's alright even if I didn't mark that. Then let me simply click on OK. Alright. Click on OK and wait for it. Oh yes, it has brought me back in here, but I can't see what happened. Where are those numbers, right? Yeah, so let's click on manage to see that if anything has happened. Let's click on manage and wait for it to load. And here in orders, but I used the worksheet for customers, right? For customers, Great, I can see something down here, which is total number of customers. That's like the way I wrote. Let me try to increase the size of this. Maybe it can work for me. Great. I've seen that I'm having a total number of customers as 5. It has counted the number of customers using the customer IDs. I'm having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I come into the orders here, let me see, or let me just come on the names of the customers here. Let me try to increase this. Now I can see that I only have 5 customers: Trace Delicious, ABC, Akimia Bites, Wholesome Food, Park and Shop Convenience, yeah, which is the 5th one. And great, it has worked for me, right? Yeah. Now I can also use Power Pivot. Yeah, we can add something here. All right. My second question was, how can I know how much profit I've made? Yeah. Do we have, or what is the profit? So to calculate the profit, I can use this. I can come in the fx function, and let me simply type equals there. I need to use now SUMIF. I can use SUMIF to bring the profit, everything that I did. So let me say SUMIF. So I can have sum here. All right, then I should put the column name. So for the column name that I want to get the profit in orders, I know I have the profit. That's why I can simply type a profit. As you can see, then it's telling me that in orders I'm having profit. So let me click on that, having profit there. Then let me close by bringing the parenthesis and try to click on OK. Let me see that. Great, it has calculated that for me. Yeah, though it is saying that it's measure 1. Here, as you can see, measure. So instead of having measure 1 here, I can change that and put sum of the profit. Sum of the profit or total profit. And hit enter again. Yeah, it has worked for me there. It is saying that I'm having the sum of profit. Great, which is 271,764. Great. That's good. That's pretty good. Yeah. Then what other questions can I answer here that I'm having for you? What is the average profit per customer? So each and every customer, how much are they giving me that? Alright, so I can also do that using SUMIF. Alright, I can use the average. I can just simply come in here and type equals, then let me put average. No, I want to calculate the average for that, so simply click on average. So the average that we want to calculate is the average of the profit, not so. Let me say profit here. I'm going to use this same data, then I'm going to close by bringing the parenthesis. Sorry for that, I didn't click on the parenthesis there. I need to close it with the parenthesis there. Then I hit enter. It's going to give me the measure 1. Then say nah, not measure 1. One of my colleagues can't understand. I need to put that as the average of profit. Let me say average profit there. Yeah, so since you can understand very well, I'm going to hit enter, and I'm having that. I've calculated that. Great. And this is now money here, and where in the orders there we're having some money, we need to bring the general formula. So let me put that. Yeah, English United States. Let me put that. Yeah, so that in front it can appear that yes, I'm talking about money. Same applies to the profit. Let me put that $sign in front. Great. So that it can be seen very well that this man is talking about money. Great. Alright, with all this data, all these insights that we've gotten calculating this, so I've shown you how to do the measures. It can be good if you have some visuals, right? Now we will analyze this data using our visuals. Alright, so let's get back to Microsoft Excel. Here we are in Microsoft Excel. So we've tackled the first button, which is the manage, the measures. Let's try to see if we can make some visuals. So it's the same thing. Click on insert on top there. Then that's the first button, the pivot table. Let's try to insert pivot tables into Power Pivot. Can they go along? Alright, here. So on the data source here, it's saying that choose the data you want to analyze. But for that, I want to use this workbooks data model because I've created already the model. I don't want to use this table alone. I just want to use everything. So check this one here and let me do this in only new worksheet and click on OK. I wait for it to load. It has taken me back into this blank worksheet. But as you can see to my right hand side here, all right, let me try to bring that. Let me show you this now. To this side, you can see that my pivot table fields I'm having here. On the customers, I'm having orders and worksheet. There is a certain diagram here which is showing the relation that I did. So as you can see, I'm having data in there and data in there. Everything that we calculated, the profit, the cost, the revenue, and all that sort of data that I really need. So I want to make the visuals now. I want to see how much have we earned from each and every individual there. Yeah, so to do that, I'm going to click on, let me get in the customer name. So I'm having customer ID there. Yeah, let me try to bring that into the row here. No, okay, no, I don't want that. I want the names in the orders. Right, let me see customer ID here. Can I see the names? Which is the contacts. All right, I need the names in the rows here. Great, so that I can see that. Let me show you how things are happening in here. I'm having that, just that. Then in the orders, what do I need? All right, there I'm having the names. Now this time around I need the orders, the order ID. Let me drag that into the values so that I can see how much everyone ordered. Yeah, so this one, like I showed you, that's one in the tricks video for the pivot table. I can simply right click there and summarize this, let's say by the count. All right, so as you can see, ABC made 132 orders, then Akimi Bytes made the most orders, 206 orders. It's great, right? They made a lot of orders from us. Great, so I've summarized that by using count. Then the important thing that you need to remember here is that I pulled data from different worksheets, right? From different worksheets. So another magical thing about Power Pivot is that I can create some measures. So I want to see them in pivot table. Those measures that I created, I can see them even here in pivot table. All right. So let me get that into the customers here. In the customers, that's where I calculated that, right? As you can see, I'm having the FX, those that. So I can have them in here. So let me start with the profit. The total profit is here. So you can see that I made this is the raw number of customers. Sorry for that. I need the average profit. I made the profit of this much, and you can see the dollar sign is in front on each and every customer. I made the average of 4,000, 3,000, 3,000. As you can see, great. And that looks pretty good, so we can analyze data easily like that. All right, so I can even bring in the sum, yeah, sum of the profit there, how much I got, not just the average, but even the sum. So let me remove the average. I can show the sum there, that this is the money that I got from these people. So great. These are the visuals that we can do here, and let's try to add something. All right. So let's try to introduce the KIPs. What are those? So let me try to bring back the commands, and let's click on Power Pivot. As you can see now I'm having KPI. Let's click on new KPIs there and see what's there. So maybe I want to add KPIs around how many or how much profit each customer is pulling in my business. Yeah. So in this field, I want to see the total number of customers, where I'm having the total number of customers here, so I can see this. And I can change. Yeah, so let me use the sum of profit, or the total profit. So let me get the sum of the profit here. Then in the measures, I can just leave it blank, just like this, because I want to measure this or this, but I can leave it for the meantime. Or I can get any. Then the absolute value, the value, let me say it's 100 here. Let me try to put 600,000, that each customer must pour at least 600,000 into my business. Yeah, is that 600,000? Yeah, it is. And the limit here, the color must be changing, so let me try to change that. Alright, let me try to move this to at least my limit should be 60, so let me find where 60 is. Yeah, I can simply change just here, say that it should be 600,000. Yeah, that's my limit there. Do that, and it is going to move. And I can move this to that. Alright, then let me try to click that. For these colors, ignore them. You can forget about them. Either you can use this, or you can use slide or that. It depends with the data that you really want to use. So I want to use the first one. And what has happened to the data that I had, those colors that I had, the new ones, it was looking pretty good, but I'm having the negative one, the zeros, and the like. Why that? Alright. That's not a big deal to us. I wanted to see those traffic names. So what happened? Let's click on Power Pivot here. Then on the customers. So on the customers, you can see that I'm having the traffic light symbol there. Let me try to uncheck those two, and check the status. Great. I'm having the data that I had, and it's telling me that yes, Taste Delicious, they hit it as I wanted. So if I want to see even the go, I can mark that the profit, I can bring in, and I can mark the go that yes, they reached that part, or they did. Alright, so if I bring in that, I can see the whole data here that I'm having. So for the meantime, I don't want to see the go, so I just want to remain with only this. So we've made the visualizations, and we can present our data showing that these people, they are doing well, and these they are not. Alright, great. People, they can see that. So the other thing that we can do, like the last part that I concluded with, which was in my introduction part, but in this part it's going to be my conclusion. I used the visuals, right? Other visuals. So let's click on that. I used other visuals like the charts and the like. Alright. Great. So to have those visuals there, the pie chart that I used, let me try to bring that. So click anywhere within this table that I'm having, then click on Analyze there. Alright, let me do that. Click on Analyze. This and the pivot table there. You're going to see that you are having this pivot chart. So let me try to introduce pivot charts here. Let me use this. They are powerful compared to those ones that I use. So I can use this bar, right? But I don't want to use the bar here. There, I want to use the pie chart, and it looks like that. I think the default one is very nice and it's very helpful to me, so I can use it. I can bring it in here, and let me try to expand it. So for you to see it clearly, let me try to hide some commands. Alright, let me try to hide some commands like that so that you can see it very well. Now again, you need to see what I'm doing, so let me try to remove just the formula bar. Alright, and bring back the commands. Yeah, so short tabs and commands. Alright, good. So as you can see, I'm having Acme Bytes here, and I'm having those. So I can even change in here. If I want to see ABC, I can sort like that. But it can be pretty good for my data presentation when I'm presenting if I include the slicers. Alright, if I include the slicers, it can be pretty good. Let me I want to change the design. Maybe I can use this one. Yeah, so that it can be so outstanding. Let me try to analyze that. So come on Analyze button and click on Slices. Yeah, so let me pick the slices that I want to use. Let's say I just want to use the customer name. Yeah, then on the other side, I just want to use the product. What product did they order from us and how much we made from them. Let's say this is just what I want to calculate. There I'm having the product, and here I'm having the customer name. So I'm saying I want to see how much chocolate chips that I sold in that month, and as you can see, just chocolate chips, it's giving me this shape, then the fortune, just like that. What if I want to combine? If I want control and I add oatmeal there, It's going to give us that. Then what about that? It's going to give us that. Now I want to see how much Acme Bytes, who is doing well, how much they did to us, how much they bought, let's say chocolate chips, then the fortunes and the other meals there. As you can see, it is changing, right? Alright, so that's good. That's about all Acme Bytes that we are having right now, and we can remove the slices so I can put them in here, everything and everything there. You can hit that. Data is moving. Great. This is what we are having right now here. And this is what all I wanted to show you, that you can use Power Pivot to analyze your data. It is great, it is easy to use because it can draw data in different worksheets. Great. So ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to subscribe to Green Living Innovations YouTube channel, and I need you to be getting updates. So don't forget to do that. You can invite others to come in so that you can see how things are moving, because at Green Living Innovations, that's where we turn all your ideas into innovations. So be innovative today by learning the power of Microsoft Excel with Green Living Innovations. Bye.